This is the Dodgers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Good evening and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Tonight's episode of the Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase of tickets to go to games. Well, you know, if you're in Boston and you're a Dodger fan, you're obviously going to be at Fenway tonight. Started off great. Dodger fans were probably high-fiving, feeling good. Yes. Off to a roaring start. Shohei Ohtani, leadoff home run. Will Smith, I think, struck out, and then Teo went deep. I happened to be listening to the first inning on the radio. Kind of ruined it for me because on satellite radio, sometimes the score will pop up before they call it on the radio. And I saw immediately it was 2-0. And then shortly thereafter, Shohei went deep. And I'm like, well, either Will Smith or I guess Mookie's not here again tonight. So Will or Teo goes deep. And then Teo went deep about a minute later, which was great. But you had to be a little worried or a little concerned that it would be tough for this team to hold on to a 2-0 lead against Garrett Crochet. The fact that they got 2 runs off him at all was remarkable, I think. You know, his ERA is paltry, to say the least, leading the league in strikeouts. I don't know if it's all of baseball or just the NL. I'm sorry, the AL. But, yeah, he was on fire tonight after that first inning. Went 6, gave up just 2 runs on 8 hits. It's kind of surprising. The Dodgers almost out-hit Boston tonight with very little productivity after that first inning. He struck out 10 Dodgers. In total, they struck out 15 times. Yuck.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, rubber game tomorrow. That's what we're talking about right now. Not the Dodgers going on a run, not Kershaw dominating, not the Dodgers ripping the cover off the ball at Fenway. Shohei just the 1 hit, Will Smith a hit, Teo the 1 hit, Freddie had a hit early, struck out twice. Again, lots of Ks. Shohei struck out 3 times, never looked good after that first at bat. Will Smith with a pair of strikeouts, Freddie 2 strikeouts, Andy Pages 2 strikeouts. Ironically, all of those guys, including Tommy Edman and Miggy Rojas, had a hit. 2 for 3 for Hae-Sung Kim, which is nice to see after the way he's been going of late. 4 Ks yesterday, only 1 tonight. Mookie did get to bat because he was there, but was 0 for with a strikeout. So, you know, a lot of hits, but just not a lot of productivity, not a lot of threatening. 7 left on base, 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. 7 left on base for the Red Sox, but this is a crazy number in a game that they won seemingly pretty comfortably. 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. That freaking JAREN DURAN, dude, he's one of those guys that I don't like watching, you know, especially after his little shower routine when Kershaw was going to the locker room and he got pulled. Come on, dude, have a little respect. Yeah, he got pulled from the game. He wasn't terrible. I know you lit him up for at least 1 triple, if not 2. But yeah, that dude was on fire and seemingly always is against the Dodgers. 3 for 4 tonight, all 3 extra base hits, 2 triples and a double, but he's only batting .259. He's not having a great year. He just seems to do it against the Dodgers. You know, he's a SoCal kid, went to Cypress in Orange County. And it seems like every time the Dodgers face that guy, he was the MVP of the All-Star game last year. Every time it's just like, he is on fire, like something to prove. Craig brings up an interesting point here. Dodgers ran themselves out of innings. You know what? I don't know that's why they lost the game, but it is something that has happened recently, trying to stretch singles into doubles. Freddie Freeman, how many times has Freddie Freeman been thrown out trying to grab an extra base? Today in the first, yesterday or a couple days ago at home, It's at least 3 times he's been thrown out trying to advance to a place that he probably shouldn't be trying to advance to. I love the aggression. I love the fact that he's trying to make stuff happen. But Freddie is old and not fast. So I don't know what that's all about. To me, it's just like, let's play a little conservative. It's right up there with not being able to play small ball, not playing a station to station thing. Rumor says, I felt Clayton kept putting himself in full counts after starting 0-2, just couldn't finish consistently, caused us to lose a 2-0 lead. Yeah, it's a fair point. Like, I thought he was okay, as I said right here. Kershaw, again, looked okay. I didn't think he was great, but it was serviceable. I mean, he only gave up 4, all of them. Yeah. So, he took the loss. He's now 4-2. It wasn't his best outing, but look, the Dodgers couldn't get anything going against Crochet. So, yeah, I mean, he would have had to just hold them at 2 or, it just wasn't going to be. I didn't think that he had enough. And the offense was not capable of getting to Crochet. 12-4 now. So, I mean, his ERA is 2.23. He's a tough guy to face. Big, lanky, long, tall, just all arms and knees, as they say. So it just didn't feel like the Dodgers had, it's in spite of getting 9 hits, it just didn't seem like they had any threats at all tonight. It's kind of a weird outcome based on the productivity. It wasn't like they didn't hit the ball. They just didn't put any threats on them. There was no fire under their butt where they're like, all right, we're coming to get you right now. It was like they couldn't get to Crochet, and that felt like that was all they had. But I again, Kershaw wasn't great, but I wouldn't hang this one on him necessarily. The fact is that Jaren Duran had a fantastic night with 3 extra base hits and 2 RBI. So, you could say that he kind of single-handedly almost won this game for the Red Sox. Although they stranded him twice, the second triple and the double, he was stranded because they got Rafaela, who was 0-for-4. So I look at Duran batting 7th. I'm like, what the hell is that? This Anthony guy, he had a couple of hits tonight, but he's batting 265. His OPS is just under 800. He's a pretty good hitter, and so is Gonzalez. I mean, I don't know. It just feels to me like Duran is a much better hitter than that. But over the entirety of a season, and this season specifically, he hasn't been that great. So he's kind of earned that 7 hole. But against the Dodgers, he is on fire. So I would say that he was a big part of this win for them with 2 RBI. But Anthony had the other one, and then Toro walked. How did he get an RBI? I missed that one. Sacrifice fly. Yeah. So just not tonight for the Dodgers. Tough pitcher on the opposing team starting the game is almost always a tough call for the Dodgers. They struggle against other teams' aces. Shouldn't be surprising, but when you have an offense like this, that hits as many home runs as they do, you would think that they would be able to get to even the aces. But obviously, the Dodger offense is going through a funk right now. They're starting to come out of it. Again, 9 hits tonight. Shohei with a homer. Teo with a homer. That's 16 for Teo. And if I read that stat correctly, it's also 16 at Fenway after hitting one yesterday at Fenway, a place where Teo says he just absolutely loves to hit. When asked, what is it about Fenway? The energy, the history, all of that. His response was, yes, all of that. I love it all. I love the energy that is here in this ballpark, the history, etc. So it's good to see that he's starting to come out of it. 255 batting average, 293 on base, 465 slug. Shohei has the OPS just under 1,000, which is nice to see. 273 batting average. They brought up an interesting point, which we'll talk about after this, about Shohei's batting average in relation to the pitching. I thought it was kind of an interesting concept. We'll talk about that next. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast. I'm Pete Fox on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, where you can find the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. Here on the postcast, we give instant reaction. We go wide and shallow. If you want some deeper things as what's going on with the organization, what's going on with the health of people, that's where you check out Travis Rogers on the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. After the break, we will do player of the game and the turning point. So hang on. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Gametime. This is the best place to find tickets, especially if you're looking for those tickets last minute. Because let's say you just had this, this spontaneous reaction to head to a ball game with friends or family, and it's game day. You suddenly realize that I don't want to sit on the couch. I want to go to the park. Well, then you got to open up your phone and go to Gametime, because that's where you find tickets at the last minute for a great deal without any stress. With the big money you save on tickets, you could splurge on food, drinks, merch, even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it all possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop as you get closer to first pitch. And they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, so you can see from the app where you're going to be sitting, and the lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Take the guesswork out of buying, along with the worry. Download the Gametime app and create an account. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB. Download the Gametime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. This is a new sponsor here, the Locked On Dodgers postcast, brought to you by Game Day Hue. It wants me to talk about the hat I'm wearing, which is not the hat that they've given me, but this is a game worn hat. What Game Day Hue does is makes clean, no logo gear. So I don't know that this one would apply, because this thing right here is a logo. But they make no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile clothing that works on game day, also on the course, or anywhere in between. Let's say you have casual Friday at the office and you want to support your team. This is a great way to do it. I know as you get older, when you're younger, it's okay to the body logos and wearing jerseys. But as you get older, you want to support your team, but you want it to be classier. NBA is a perfect example. Like, supporting teams in the NBA is tough because not everyone, as a matter of fact, most people don't look good in a tank top, right? So this is a good way with Game Day U to support your NBA team. Right now, you can get 50% off with the code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because color speaks louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15. Dodgers fall in the second game of this series, so rubber game tomorrow against the Red Sox at Fenway. Shohei a home run to lead off the game today, but then 3 Ks from there. And as I mentioned yesterday, it seems like lately Shohei is swinging out of his shoe tops as hard as possibly can. He doesn't seem like he's trying to make contact or put the ball in play in any way, shape, or form. And tonight on the broadcast on Fox, they talked about it, that everybody kind of expected that certain parts of the offense from Shohei were going to fall off a little bit because of the pitching, right? And I get it. I thought it would be more related to the stolen bases, and it is, as the stolen bases have declined dramatically, which is fine. I don't think, the Dodgers don't live or die by Shohei stealing bases, but Shohei's batting average at 273, and really it's like home run or bust for him, is not what I think they need right now. At other points in time, sure, go for it. But right now, they need to score runs and get on base. Virtual says that strikeout from Shohei was disgusting. Yeah, there were 3. Which one? Which day? Today, yesterday, they look horrible. Yeah, horrible swing. It's long, it's fast, it's hard. You can't give him grief for not giving it 100% because he's giving it, 150, 200, whatever. He is swinging as hard as he possibly can. But I'm glad you guys agree to a certain extent that I'm not the only one. I don't know about Kershaw needing to retire just yet. Maybe at the end of the season, but we need him right now. And Ohtani strikes out too much. Yeah, absolutely. I think right now would be a good time for Shohei Ohtani to try to be more of a get on base sort of guy, right? It's cool when he hits leadoff home runs. By the way, the home run tonight from the leadoff spot, his 10th leadoff home run this season. It's exciting. Number 38 all in all. He's still got the power there. Again, the slug at 620. Just no one's even close on the dial. Well, Will Smith's kind of close at 544. But I just feel like they could use him in other ways. But I don't think that's anything that ever crosses Dave Roberts' mind or anybody else on their coaching staff or Andrew Friedman. They just don't look at their team and say, yeah, we need to get on base more and play small ball. No, we need to hit more home runs. That's what we need to do. And like right now it's boom or bust, right? They are capable, but when you've got 9 hits and you're over 3 with runners in scoring position, we know that it's not. We know that they're not wanting to do it. I know that they could if they wanted to, right? And you've got to have some guys on your team. I'm not saying all of them go up there and try to hit singles, but I think the Dodgers would be in a better place right now as they are struggling to find runs on a consistent basis. If they could play some station to station ball, or just here's a little bit of a middle of the road for you. If they could just be more situationally aware, that's all. Look at the situation and say, what would be good right now? We talked about it a couple of nights ago. I don't remember which player you guys referenced. I think it was Tommy Edman. There was a situation where he could have bunted a couple of times, which would have helped the Dodgers get into scoring position. And no, he didn't. I totally agree with that opinion. Something like that at this position for the Dodgers, where they're trying to find some rhythm again, would be helpful to them. I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. We can wish all we want. As I think it was my wife's father said, you can wish in one hand, crap in the other, and see which one fills up first. That's where we are with the Dodgers and the potential of them playing small ball. 4-2 the final tonight. Rubber game tomorrow at Fenway Park. Dodgers now 61-44, 26-23 on the road. Red Sox 56-50, 33-21. 10:35 a.m. the finale of this series. It'll be Dustin May as they have moved Shohei back. He'll start in Cincinnati, game 1 of that series, against former Dodger Walker Buehler. I do not like the way this one is matching up, because you know how it goes when, even though they were all happy and hugging and high-fiving yesterday when they gave Buehler his ring, he's going to come out tomorrow with a chip on his shoulder, and I have a feeling that it's going to be slow going for the Dodgers, because Buehler is going to come out with something to prove. Hopefully I'm wrong, but he's had a good season. Well, decent. He's sick. It's funny. They're both 6-6. Dustin May's ERA 4.7, Buehler 5.7. So not that great, but that's one of those situations where you can throw the numbers out the window tomorrow when you're facing your former team. So again, underway at 10:35 a.m. locally here in California. It'll be 1:35 in Boston, and we'll be here right afterwards on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel to break it down. Appreciate your comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We will talk tomorrow after this series comes to a conclusion right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Take care.